Hey guys, this is HD and welcome back. I do apologize. It looks like there is a third game in this set, meaning that this is a best of 5 and there could very well be a fourth and a fifth game. So I'm so sorry. I said it was a best of 3. MC right now, I apologize most to you because now you're forced to play another game after you thought you had already won the last set. And MC is going to be the blue Protoss at the top right. The map is going to be Daybreak. His opponent is going to be the red Terran player down just to the southwest, and that is of course Bomber. And I can't really imagine how joyful Bomber must be right now that this is a best of 5 and not a best of 3, meaning that he has got to win the next 3 games, but at least he's not eliminated. He is still in the running, and we'll see if he can pull it back because the last 2 games have been pretty fast. They all revolved around MC just executing his build so well that Bomber kind of looking a little flustered. Never really had an opportunity to shut down the attacks, never was able to recover from it. And every single play that MC pulled out of his hat worked like a charm. It was brilliant. And now we'll see what MC does here. Daybreak is a big map. You know, typically you do see this type of game evolve into a 20-minute plus affair simply because of the way the map is designed. Expansions all away from each other. The map is very large, and the walking distance between the 2 bases, it's a little bit convoluted as well before you break down the set of rocks in the middle. So it can certainly take some time, and we'll see what happens. MC here going for 1 gate and the gas, and almost certainly going to see a cybernetic score come down, and then we'll see if he expands after that and where the gas gets funneled into. MC going to go ahead and scout into the base here with his probe. And that's going to, of course, force Bomber to pull an SCV off the line. He's going to not want to let any of his SCVs die here in the initial phase of the game. The barracks has gone down, so it was not delayed at all. And Marine production can begin to ramp up right now as Bomber begins his orbital command at the same time. By the way, guys, I will be doing some of my Terran games that I played yesterday. I've been playing a bunch of Terran, as I said, in the first and second game of this set, just to get some more practice under my wings. And I do enjoy Terran quite a bit. It is a very fun race to play. There's a lot of options, a lot of hotkeys, a lot of buttons, a lot of micro. And, you know, that was similar in Brood War. That's why Toss Girl, she was originally a Protoss player, if you didn't know. She switched over to Terran because she had such incredible APM. You know, all her mentors and teachers said, you know what, you should take that into the Terran race where your APM can really be recognized because it's such an APM-intensive race to play. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Terran. We'll see. We'll see if I have any good games to cast for you guys. For sure, I'll be doing at least one. And that's that. Bomber here going for an expansion after the 1 barracks. Has another barracks to follow that up. It looks like we're going to see a similar build like he did in the first game on Metropolis, where he did not get any gas, but he did open up into 4 barracks. And you know, as Terran, you can get a lot of gas and then revolve around your technology to keep you alive from a Protoss attack, or you can revolve around a lot of barracks, a lot of Marines to keep you alive. And I think what Bomber has done here actually has been a little bit of a hybrid. 3 barracks and then gas. So he's not going to be super late on his tech like he was in the first game, but nor is he going to be super fast on his tech like he was in the second game. Meanwhile, MC here, getting his second assimilator up, has a Nexus down as well, a sentry at the front door. I can't tell you how important this initial sentry really is. It gives you so much flexibility in terms of any type of attack at the front because that force field can keep you alive. If it be some type of stim timing play or really anything, that force field is so important. And MC knows that. So he has now scouted the front door as well, sees a bunker at the front. And very smart, really, for a Terran player. Personally, when I play Terran, I get 2 or 3 bunkers up, man, because I just don't know what Protoss is doing. And to me, it's like, you know what? Instead of throwing a column set down inside the base, I'm just going to get extra bunkers, just in case. And you can salvage it later. So anytime I see a Terran player getting bunkers, even more than 1, I don't really fault them. I think it's safe. I think it's fine. And it keeps you alive. That's the most important thing. So Bomber is... He does have 1 at the front. He's building a second one right now. Super safe. Has Stim Pack on the way. And Stim Pack, not only an upgrade that gives you flexibility for offense, but also for defense. It's a very nice upgrade to have. And what is this probe doing? So now, you know, Protoss versus Terran, I have to mention, the game doesn't really start until both players are on 2 bases. That's usually when the game starts, unless there's some type of cheese happening, you know? But once both players have established 2 bases, that's when the game starts to kick into gear. And it looks like MC, is he going to do the same thing here? 3 gates, Robo. This time a little different. He has a pylon in the middle of the map, but he might make a Warp Prism here. We'll have to see. I think Warp Prism play is also very good on this map because you can bring the Warp Prism in, you can sentry the ramp, and then the Terran is forced to decide, well, actually not even decide, he's forced to go lie in his coffin if his forces are out in the natural. And here comes MC. Does he have a Warp Prism coming? He doesn't have anything coming out of the robotics facility right now. He's just attacking purely on Warp Gates. Gonna try to use Force Fields to keep the SCVs away from the bunker. Can he get the bunker down? He will! And the bunker has gone down, but this is why you build additional bunkers as Terran. Oh, Bomber's a little bit overextended. Gotta be careful. Doesn't want to let his forces get force fielded again. And that's so risky, but luckily he had another bunker up. Now, I don't think MC has enough firepower to bust through these bunkers. He may have to pull back. He will. And thankfully, my goodness, if Bomber did not have a second and third bunker up, he would have been done. That is why I was saying, you know, just get extra bunkers. It's always safe. Better to be safe rather than sorry. And I bet Bomber right now sweating a little bit from his brow, but hey, just wiping it off casually, realizing that, hey, he's safe. And now he, I believe, I would say he's a little bit ahead right now because he defended that pretty well. But let's look at how many harvesters he lost. Okay, only 2. Not too bad. And, you know, I really feel like Bomber should be pulling ahead because of that. But I'm looking at the supply tabs right now, and actually MC ahead by 6 supply. So, MC, you know, that as Protoss, you get Chrono Boost, and you can Chrono Boost your probes way over the Terran count pretty easily. And Bomber, I guess, falling behind a little bit in the Harvester tabs, and that's really the reason why he's behind in supply right now. In fact, he's been able to pull ahead. So it's a pretty close game. And the next point now, the next point in this matchup is going to be the Terran player launching his attack. That's what happens in Terran versus Protoss. You'll have Protoss attack and try to, you know, punch in through the front door. But after that, what Protoss wants to do is get an expansion ahead of Terran. And now the mid-game Mine Wars have begun. And this is where Terran has to make an attack happen. Their strength is in the mid-game, and they do not want to allow Protoss to get too many bases. We'll see if... Whoa. Speedy stim on that Marauder there. We'll see if Bomber has the wherewithal to realize that there is an observer chilling right in front of his base here, just kind of relaying all the actions that the Terran army is up to back over to the Protoss home base. We'll see if he can comsat that down and take it away. Right now, also flooding a factory in to check on the timing of that third Nexus, and it is up. And upon seeing that, I mean, I've got to imagine Bomber is going to make an attack here. He can actually split up his Marines and Marauders, and a very good strategy in TVP on this map, because the third Nexus and the main Nexus somewhat spread apart. Just send a medevac to the back of the main. There's a lot of open space for you to work with, and then send another medevac to the back of the third. A lot of open space for you to work with as well, and a double medevac attack is one of the most common strategies in Terran versus Protoss. With the medevacs already out on the field, I would imagine Bomber is going to try to do a little bit of drop harass. He has to, or the Protoss will pull way ahead. MC right now trying to get up in tech, trying to get Charge Lot out, and you know, in PvT, it's smart to have a hybrid, have Colossus and have Archon Templars on the field. But oh my god, look at this. Bomber gonna load up 4 medevacs full, and he's gonna try to go for a big drop here. And oh wow, MC not prepared. MC pulled all of his stalkers out of his main base at the wrong time, and now all the medevacs are gonna go in. But it's not over for MC yet. MC, if he can bring his stalkers back home, he does have Blink trying to blink his stalkers back to come back home, but it looks like his Nexus is gonna fall. Wow! Bomber with just a huge drop, drops the Nexus, kills off the Templar Archives, and now he can escape home scot-free. Didn't lose anything. I might be too hasty to say that though. Yeah, he didn't lose anything. Oh wow. That was a big play in the hands of Bomber. And now MC is really far behind. He just lost his main Nexus. He just lost his Templar Archives too, which I would almost say is almost as bad as losing his Nexus, because he cannot make Archons, he cannot make the Templar Storm research. There are so many obstacles now he has to overcome because of that loss, and damn! If MC had just left his Stalkers in his main base, he decided to move out really at the wrong time, and I wonder what prompted him to move out at that timing. He must have known that medevac drops were coming, and he just moved out in the middle of the field, and that was a bit unfortunate from his point of view. Now Bomber's really in control of this game, and I love it too. You know, he even though he killed off the Templar Archives, you guys will note that he's making ghosts anyways. He knows that that was the tech route that MC had originally intended, and hey, maybe Templars are already out, maybe Storm's already out, I should get ghosts, and he's got ghosts on the way. So that's the other thing you've got to do when you're playing TvP, is you got to kind of balance out your Vikings and your ghosts. Too many Vikings, you're going to lose to Charge on Archon Storm. Too many ghosts, you're going to lose to Colossus. So that drop was a double full drop. Not only did he do a ton of damage, he also got a ton of information. And with the ghosts now on the field, man, Bomber is in such a good, he's got such a good grasp of the current mindset of MC and the position he's at that, you know, he's doing really well for himself. I will say one thing though, MC's supply count, despite getting dropped, he's not too far behind his Terran opponent. That's actually pretty surprising. And, you know, MC maybe just having a bit better macro here, hitting all his warp gate timings. Drops a few forces there to save his Templar. That was so big. If he lost his Templar there, he would not have had Storm, and he needs it really badly right now. It's his only AoE source of damage. Drops the Storm, whiffs it though. He still has one Storm left. This Storm has got to be money. I love the factory as well, giving Bomber another place to just hide himself behind, and of course making it more difficult for the charge rots to hit him. Bomber so resourceful, gets Stormed though. That was a decent Storm from MC. Doing about half the damage it could have done, which is okay. And now Bomber can Thunder Set Micro behind the factory, but he gets Force Fields, got to lift off the factory now and lifts it off, but he doesn't want to run to the left because the Storm is there. Now has split his army apart, and the army to the right gets sandwiched between the forces and the cliff, but I still think Bomber's got enough army units here to crush through. His Marines and Marauders still have medevac support, but now reinforcements arriving from the pylon. And MC, I think he's gonna be able to clean this attack up. He should be able to hold nice Blink Stalker Micro as well. And MC holds, but he has taken some serious damage supply-wise at 94, now at 104, under 140. And MC, even though he holds that third Nexus, which is big because, you know what, remember, he lost his main Nexus, he is still at a disadvantage in this game. Let's check the upgrades. 1-1 for MC still, Bomber at 1-2, so Bomber holding that advantage, although 2-2 is quickly getting chrono boosted, and that means that fairly shortly, Protoss here is going to have that upgrade advantage. He's also dropping down more warp gates to keep up in production at the same time. Scouts out with the Observer, the new command center coming up in the middle of the map on Daybreak. Restricted area being occupied by Ghosts, Marauders, Marines, and Medevacs. Bomber preparing for another potential attack here. He wants to crush this Nexus, knows that if he can kill off this Nexus, he has all but won this game, now ahead at 171 to 124 supply. And MC so disadvantageous right now. He's got to figure something out. He does have the chrono boosted upgrades kind of going for him, but at this point just tied up with Terran. Gotta start 3-3. There it goes, 3-3 on the way. Gotta try to chrono boost that to maybe get ahead and have some slight window of opportunity here, but at the same time gotta worry about this attack from Bomber. Bomber coming in from multiple angles here, has a couple Vikings here just in case of Colossus, but actually there is no Colossus that I can see. As far as I can see, no Colossus production, but there is a Warp Prism coming out right here, crossing paths with that command center, and Bomber here has to decide, do I pull back and defend against this potential Warp Prism attack? He's got some Marines and Marauders back home, very smart. PvT is all about drops nowadays, whether it be from Terran or from Protoss. Always a good idea to leave some units behind. His Ghost actually getting assassinated at the front. I don't know what happened there, did not catch it, but losing the Ghost is not good at all. Maybe he got some EMPs off though before they died, now getting a couple of units stormed, and I think Bomber needs to be a little careful here. He does have good medevac coverage though with the medevacs, as long as he can continue to stutter stab. Gotta be careful though, his medevac's getting shot by stalkers in the background, but it's okay, he's got plenty of Marines and Marauders, and now MC has to pull back. That continual tug of war that is Protoss versus Terran will have to pull back towards the Photon Cannon, where he's got more of a static defense and now trying to make some Archons, recycling, of course, out of his Templar. And, you know, it's all about recycling, reducing, reusing, and rotting. Maybe not rotting because there's no Zerg here, but those Archons really do come in handy. Such a good unit to have after your Storm has been expended. And now, with the Archons backing up this army, Bomber has to pull back, but look at the reinforcements Bomber's got. He actually pulled all of his units back from the third to help attack, but now his orbital command is under attack. And that's the thing, if you pull some of your defensive units to go on the offensive, well, you're not going to have a goalie to protect against points being scored in your goal. And right now, MC is getting goals. Man, he's just completely shut down one of the expansions, didn't really kill off that many SCVs, but damn, he's going to force the entire pullback of army here, and the units are still flooding in. The entire third command center has been abandoned, and I would actually say this attack going very well for MC. Unbelievably, you know, at one point MC was losing. He was at like 120 to 190 supply to Bomber, and now it's tied up almost. Unbelievable. That was really good Warp Prism play by MC. And you'll note he waited until he saw the main army all coming from, you know, all the defensive units leaving this area, and then he brought in the Warp Prism. It was hiding back here for a while. That was just a really smart play by MC, knowing that if he just went in carelessly, it wouldn't have resulted in anything. And now, man, he's still got the Warp Prism back here, still doing damage. And probably wants to be careful now, doesn't want to stick around for too long. That Templar is just kind of waiting, twiddling his thumbs, and whoa, we have an attack in the middle of the map, led by the power of Charge on Archon. Note that MC has not made a Colossus all game, and I don't know if Bomber's got enough ghosts to deal with this. I can't believe this, MC with a huge swing, just turning this game completely on its face, and you know, is now pushed Bomber down to back to his original mining base, but he is really hindering the Terran player now as he's claimed another expansion of his own. It is now 4 bases to 3 bases with MC in the lead at 141 to 102 supply. What a job by MC. And you know, the upgrades, I will just quickly mention them. They are maxed out for both sides, but this is where the side upgrades start to matter a little bit. You know, get that shield upgrade for Protoss, especially if you're going Archons. It's a nice upgrade to have. Getting the, well, I was going to say getting the Viking +1 upgrade, but there's no Colossus on the field. So, wow, it really looks bleak here for our Terran player, because remember, I'll say it again, the strength of Terran is in the mid game. Now that it's in the late game, it's so hard for Bomber to really kind of come back. He's already behind in supply, but what the hell is he going to do? I don't know. Trying to come down the ramp here, gets a storm on his units. Oh, God, the storm! That was terrible for Bomber and so great from MC. The most beautiful storms I've seen in a while, hitting the SCVs, hitting the units on the choke. And MC just pushing in for victory. Remember, this is a best of 5, so if MC wins here, it is over. And I'm pretty certain it's over this time. I don't think it's a best of 7. I don't know. Maybe you guys will see. If there's a 4th game, then you'll know it's a best of 7. And, uh-oh. Bomber cannot afford to lose this orbital command. This is like the last thread of hope connecting him from, you know, the depths of hell to the living. And right now he is falling. He's plummeting to the depths of hell. Can he survive? Diablo is waiting for you, friend. Oh man, I'm so addicted to Diablo. I can't wait to play. I will just say right now, quick side note, I know a lot of people are complaining about Diablo 3. I think Blizzard will patch the game and bring it up to date soon. But, you know, just a quick tangent. As we're waiting for, I think, Bomber to just throw up the white flag. I think this is pretty much all Bomber can do. At this point, I don't see him winning this game. It's too far flung now. MC coming in with everything, and this has got to be it. There's just too many Archons, too many charge lots, nowhere for the Marines to run back to. Calling upon the SCVs to help, and GG. But yeah, just my little side tangent there. You know, I know there's been a lot of complaints about Diablo 3. I don't think I've ever seen a game get more complaints from Blizzard than this one. And you know, I will say, you know, the game has a little bit of patches that it needs, but I'm thinking in some time, I'm thinking Diablo 3 will be a successful successor to Diablo 2. I think right now it needs some work, but it's still a damn fun game. I highly encourage you guys to play hardcore, because I think hardcore is really where the magic is at, man. I'm enjoying the game so much. I haven't even reached Inferno yet. I'm taking my sweet time, always getting new gear. But anyways, let's just dissect one of the main points in this game. I thought Bomber was so far ahead at this point. What did he do with these ghosts? Okay, so he pretty much lost them and maybe traded for 2 Templar. But he was so far ahead, but the magic really was that Warp Prism. Okay, so the Warp Prism comes back here. And what MC does is, you know, he knows there's units here. You cannot drop. So why not just hide the Warp Prism in the back and wait for a better opportunity? And thankfully, there were no Vikings. So what he does is he waits. And all he has to worry about is defending off this location here. So he gets a storm, trying to hold off this location at all costs. Pushes the army back a little bit. Really well done here, I think. And really the whole mindset from Protoss here is, as long as I'm even on basis with Terran, as the game continues to go on, I can start to slowly pull ahead. Of course, Bomber knows that, that's why he grabbed the middle expansion, but this is the magic, really. This is the beauty. Watch. All the units leaving the defensive position. All of them. And I don't know why Bomber didn't think the Warp Prism was still back there. Maybe he didn't know. But then all of a sudden, hey, all the units are gone. MC says, I'm coming in. I'm coming in, and there's nothing you can do about it. And boom, this was the magical turning point. And Bomber doesn't have to engage, or I mean, MC doesn't have to engage here. He can pull back. He can pull back into Templar Storms. And this is where Bomber has to say, I've got to pull back. I've got to defend. And everything came apart here. Note that Bomber was ahead in supply by, I don't know, like 40, 50 supply, and all of a sudden that changed in a quick hurry. So that was the magic of this game, and I guess the lesson, the moral to take away home from this matchup, if you're gonna learn anything here from StarCraft, is you know, drops are good. Drops are very good. Despite what you might think, drop when you're behind, and you might just get back in the game. So there it is, MC with the 3-0 sweep of Bomber, and MC on the prowl here. We'll have to see in the future what his next achievement will be. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is HD signing out.